Can you just, I got one. Can you just start grunting? Like
No.
rhythmically?
No.
As if you're doing sit-ups.
Huh? 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 That's how I do sit-ups. Huh? Huh?
Reese,
Yeah.
why are you hanging upside down from the ceiling doing sit-ups?
Huh?
This is
It's Wednesday. Huh? And I'm going to switch to push-ups.
Hey, well, you're hanging upside down from the ceiling.
It's hard to talk to you while I'm working out. Just hurry up.
Can you get down from there?
No.
Okay. Well, while you're hanging upside down from the ceiling, why don't you tell me what you're going to teach me today?
This episode is called Golf versus Humanity, the Ochre Crisis.
Good evening. At one point, there were as many as 12 native barricades in Quebec, but tonight only one is still standing. It's the one that triggered the whole dispute, the one that Quebec police tried to storm 53 days ago, the one in Ochre. Tonight, the barricade is completely surrounded by the Canadian Army.
They were there to come across that bridge, march through the community, and show that, they had taken over and they're going to take over.
The soldiers have dug themselves in after a day of high tension and drama.
It was just insane. It was chaotic.
We had to hold the bridge. We pushed them back. We couldn't let them take the bridge.
Stay back and fucking kick your ass.
Run! Shoot! Shoot, fucker!
Get him out of here!
Super Blanco, let's troop polite. The place that's excitement, kryptonite. You may fall asleep with no warning. Because Canada is boring, boring.
Cause Canada is boring. Canada is boring.
So boring.
Canada is so
Fucking boring, boring.
a real cool podcast with Reese and Jesse.
Hello and welcome to Canada is Boring. My name is Reese and with me is the improbable Jesse Hardy.
I exist. Improbably.
Despite the universe and its demands to keep him non-existent, here he is.
Hey, dear listener, thank you so much for tuning into Canada is Boring. If you like this stuff and you want to hear more, boy, you should head over to our Patreon or subscribe to our Apple subscription service. We just did a whopper of an episode.
We did. We actually went back to politics to make people feel nostalgic.
Yep.
Where I covered the Timbit Index.
Reese basically read from a receipt how much people spent on Tim Hortons.
Not just people, MPs.
MPs
over
for
a
like
4-year period.
For like a fucking half an hour.
It was great.
It was just riveting. So
we talked
if you
about how
like,
much MPs spent in Costco, how much they spent on Nespresso pods, how much they didn't spend in
Incredible.
Dunkin' Donuts. Nobody claimed expenses.
It
from
was
Dunkin' Donuts.
absolutely amazing that I didn't fall asleep. Anyway, let's go on to the show. The show because the
STD zone.
The STD zone. All right,
Jesse, anything exciting happened to you?
I talked about it I talked about all the exciting stuff that happened in the Patreon episode.
Oh, so is that a hard sell? If you wanted an exciting update on Jesse's incredible life, you need to pay $5 a month. Tell us about something less exciting and interesting that happened for the free people.
You've got a new studio. It's pretty cool.
I've got a whole new office. The 5th floor of the entire building is ours.
The whole floor?
The whole 5th floor is ours.
That's really cool.
And I've got a new office.
It's delightful. It's huge. They've got a terrace.
I've got a view of the city from my office. And
fridge is full of beer. It's important.
Great.
Fudge.
It is important.
You got fudge.
Everybody, the news anchor and journalist and writer Nancy Reagan made that fudge and brought it here. She was the first person to use. If you're from the East Coast, you'd know Nancy really well from the news.
It was delicious. I had some.
Yeah, vanilla fudge. It was great. And I'm going through a very dark time at the moment, though.
You are?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I finally got the pH balance right on my pool and the chlorine balance right, but it's still cloudy. So I need to now find some kind of particle collector some kind of coagulate to reduce the particles because it's still too cloudy and I can't clean it because I can't see the bottom. I don't know if I've got all the toe biters out, the bugs. So.
I think it would be an accurate description to call you my rich fuck friend.
Your rich fuck friend.
Yeah. Just not rich fuck friend. Rich dash fuck, not rich fuck dash friend.
Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up. I'm not. Everything's on finance, so no.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah.
It's just a sham.
And I know we have thousands of people listening to us on a regular basis, but having this, we have Madison in the studio who is listening and monitoring, and having just one person occasionally stare and listen to us is so unnerving. It's very glad. So glad to have you with us.
She's just doing her job.
I know.
She's a professional.
She's a professional, which is I'm glad. Yeah. So thank you for listening. Thanks. We're getting thumbs up. Okay.
There we go. Good. Do you want to talk about golf versus humanity, the Oka crisis?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Well, what's going on? So hold on. The whole STD zone was your cloudy pool.
I've got a cloudy pool.
Stop being it.
I haven't even been in it to piss in it yet. I wish.
Yeah. I haven't been in there to piss in it.
Every day my kids go, "Is the pool ready yet?" And I'm like, "No, I failed my children." I've unsuccessfully opened the pool this year. So if any listeners know anything about opening a pool and can help me, email us, CanadianPoliticsIsBoring@gmail.com, because we still haven't changed it, because I need help.
Oh, I went to Denny's.
Did you?
I did. Last time I was at Denny's was I was 10 years old in California.
Last time I went to Denny's.
10th birthday party. And this is the first time I've been to a Denny's since. And so we were all excited. And me and the family went to Denny's because it was this trip down nostalgia lane. And it was honestly some of the best restaurant food, I think, breakfast food I've ever had, with some of the worst service. They just kept forgetting silverware over and over and over again. They just kept bringing food with no silverware. And we were like, can we have something to eat with this other than our hands? And they're like, oh, right, sorry. And they'd leave and they wouldn't bring us silverware. I'm like, what is... Anyway, it was weird, but it was very tasty once we finally figured out a way to get into our mouth holes.
Last time I went to Denny's was 2012, and it was in LA. And
yeah, that's where I was.
My friend had a grand sandwich, and he had horrible heartburn and indigestion for the rest of the day.
Our STD zones are getting a little boring.
Email us. What did you have at Denny's? And when did you last go there?
When did you last have heartburn?
Canadian Politics is Born. Did you leave a 5-star review to clear in the date you went to Denny's and the food you consumed there? That's great. Should let's do golf versus humanity?
Yeah, let's do something other than our own fucking pathetic lives. Yeah. Here we go.
So the Oka crisis. Have you ever heard of the Oka crisis?
I have not. I might have. It sounds familiar.
In 1990, the Mohawk community in Oka, Quebec, basically, the community had been there for a long time, but they'd been confined to a 6 kilometer squared reserve compared to the 600.
Sorry, who was this? I blanked out. I was thinking about fudge.
The indigenous Mohawk community in Oka, Quebec. They used to have nearly 700 square kilometers of land, and they'd been confined to 6 square kilometers of land. Oof. A few like 100 years before or so, and this was the 90s now. So they were existing on this small parcel of land that they were allowed to keep by the government, and they got upset.
Yeah,
understandably so, because they decided that someone in Oka in Quebec decided to plan a condominium complex and a golf course onto some land that they weren't currently on, but they claimed was still theirs. It was undeveloped land.
Well, that's okay. I mean, it should be a fairly simple legal dispute that could be easily resolved. Hey, someone built on land that I own.
No, but that's the thing. They didn't own it. They had it taken off them, but it was adjacent to where they...
I'm confused.
So they had a giant...
They were given 6,000 square feet of land.
They had nearly 700 square kilometers of land.
700 square kilometers of land.
And then the government took it all away from them and crammed them onto a 6 square kilometer piece of land.
Okay.
But the pieces of land around were still sacred to them.
Okay.
So that even though they didn't legally own it, as far as they're concerned, that's their land, because they were forced onto a smaller parcel.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right,
historically speaking.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
So the plan was to build a condominium complex and a golf course over land that included one of their cemeteries.
Ooh. All right, that's going to be a haunted fucking golf course.
So It's like that's your conclusion. Scooby-Doo van turning up. Would have got away with it for these pesky kids. So they decided to protest, understandably. So they set up a camp and blocked access to the road because the plans went through and they were just going to start building these condominiums and a golf course over their kind of sacred land.
Right.
Incredibly insensitive. Imagine, golf courses. I'm not a golf person. Are you a golf person?
No, have you ever played golf? I'm like Happy Madison when it comes to golf.
I like going to driving.
Not Happy Madison. Is that the right word?
Mini golf.
Happy Gilmore. I'm like Happy Gilmore.
Mini golf, crazy golf, all over it. Love that. Driving range sometimes when I was drunk.
I was taken to a driving range and I kept hitting the ball completely out of the range, like past the borders of the end of the range over and over and over and over again. I have zero skill when it comes to aim, but fuck me, can I hit that fucking piece of shit.
If somebody invents a combination of golf...
I was getting so angry at the ball.
If somebody invents a game that is a combination of golf and baseball, you'll be like a major league player.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
But nobody did, so...
I know. Yeah. So here I am with you.
Relative obscurity for the rest of your life. So they'd already built a 9-hole golf course, and that was very close.
That describes my life perfectly.
That was failed golf baseballer.
It's relative obscurity, really is.
So they'd already built a 9-hole golf course near the area, and they were just expanded it over. So it was going to be a townhouse complex.
So hold on. Were there gravestones? I don't know how that works.
Well, no, they would be buried people there, but they probably wouldn't have been markings and things.
Because if there were gravestones, how cool would it be to build a golf course with gravestones? You're
talking about some kind of Halloween-themed mini golf. I don't think most people wouldn't think it's cool to actually play golf on real dead people. But
I mean, that's what they're doing anyways. Might as well have them as
I don't think that's what they were going to do.
Okay.
No. So anyway, as you could imagine, they were very upset. Sacred land. We're going to build a golf course so that people can turn up in BMWs and then go have a boozy lunch before going back to their accountancy firm.
Okay.
Over the dead bodies of your ancestors on the land that was taken from you.
I mean, think how cool it would be as like a mini putt kind of course where the obstacles are headstones and graves.
Yeah, but not real ones.
No, real ones.
What, you worried that not having actual dead people there somehow diminishes the authenticity of your mini golf experience?
If it's an authentic graveyard mini putt, then yes, it would diminish the authenticity of the...
What is your market? Goths? Because children won't go there.
Children would 100% go there.
Goth families. It's very dark.
Yep.
So anyway, they set up a camp. They set up a camp to block the roads.
I'm just picturing this goth family now. I mean, it's the Addams family.
I'll be honest, it's very niche, this golfing experience.
I know people who would go.
So I want to talk about the camp they set up to block the road.
Okay.
They set up a camp to block up the road.
I feel like I've heard this story.
You might have. You might have. To be honest, this story has happened over and over and over again all across Canada.
Oh, that's probably why.
This is probably one of the most extreme ones, though. So the Quebec provincial force known as the SQ.
Yeah. I thought this was in British Columbia.
No, this is in Quebec.
This all took place in Quebec.
All in Quebec, yeah. It's a Mohawk community. So the SQ launched tear gas at the camp.
Fun.
And concussion grenades to create confusion. However, the gas blew back towards the police. Which I love.
That's really funny.
Should we check the wind? Make sure the wind's blowing before we throw these smoke grenades and concussion grenades? No. They'll be fine.
Ah, that's very funny.
And then a gunfight started. There was an actual gunfight between the camp and the police, and a police officer was killed, but they never actually worked out whether it was it was friendly fire or an actual shot from the camp.
Oh fuck!
Because it doesn't sound well organized. And they were all blinded from tear gas.
The cops.
Yeah,
yeah, that's very funny.
So everything, it was a standoff then. So the police retreated, and the campers were like, "Yay!"
It just reminded me of like the homeless encampment protests that I went to like a few years ago. I recorded it for our Instagram here in Halifax, and the cops just started just spraying tear gas everywhere for no reason at all.
Well,
Just it's something fun to do, I guess. And like,
well, it's got a sell-by date. You got to use it up.
right. And like, I was just thinking, like, could you bring like a backpack full of like superpower batteries and like some of those really big fans and just start blowing it at the
I
police?
guess you could.
Right?
Yeah.
So if they, would that work, do you think? Probably not.
Trick them, go, I'm just cooling you off. Go on, spray me. See if they fall for it.
Anyway,
So
that's where my imagination goes.
So the Mohawk protesters had built these camps. They'd scared the police. Well, they hadn't scared the police away. The police had scared themselves away by shooting themselves and tear gassing themselves.
That's so funny.
So the SQ sent up his own blockades and checkpoints around their blockades. So you have now almost like a siege situation.
Sorry, say that again?
So they had the camp had their blockades. They blocked all the roads to stop the golf course being built and the townhouses.
Right.
The police turn up. The police
Turn up, shoot themselves, gas themselves, and leave.
Police turn up, defeat themselves, and then retreat. And now they're so freaked out that they like start to block off a perimeter around the camp.
The police do.
The police do, yeah.
Okay.
So what are they going to do? So the RCMP then come in to assist the SQ, the Regional Quebec Police Force. However, other Mohawk villages then started to support, and this was mainly, they were Kanesatake, I don't know if I'm saying it, Kanesatake protesters from their specific village. Other Mohawk communities started to support them, send them resources and additional people. And they all started to, they blocked the Mercier Bridge in Montreal, which caused major disruption in Montreal.
Okay.
So the RCMP, so the regional police had been defeated. The RCMP didn't quite know what to do. So then they called the armed forces, the military in too. Because of
amazing.
This small group of people blocking the construction of a golf course. All I could think of sending in was tanks and planes too. How else are you going to do? What are you going to do? Speak to them? Come up to a reasonable resolution? This lasted 3 months.
Holy shit.
There were
How much did they spend on Tim Hortons during that time?
I wish I had a handy Timbit kind of database to access, but I don't. They didn't keep these kind of records at this time. We'll never know that kind of information is lost to the sands of time. So over the course of 3 months, the government sent 2,000 police and 4,500 soldiers, backed by armored vehicles, helicopters, jet fighters, and even the Navy.
Jesus fuck. How many people were there in the blockade?
There's like a few hundred there. But they surrounded them with literally everything they had.
That's insane.
It's almost like, imagine Godzilla just turned up. Imagine Godzilla just turned up and he's heading towards Montreal. This is what you would send to stop Godzilla getting to Montreal. But instead, they sent it to a group of indigenous protesters who were just upset that they were going to turn a cemetery into a golf course.
This is insane.
I know.
Did anybody die?
Well, yeah, that police officer got shot probably by one of his colleagues.
No, I mean, once this happened, this insanity, like...
Well, you have to listen to the story to find out. Now's a great time to play some ads.
Oh, God.
Maybe I'll put some ads there. I don't know. Anyway, so the resistance continued, and also people were on the side of the Mohawk community, generally speaking. Not everyone, but I think they got a lot of support from other indigenous people, and people were sympathetic to go, is this a reasonable response? Is this a good use of resources?
No.
Well, that's obviously.
Right.
So I think anyone with common sense in the 90s was on the side of the Mohawk community.
So here's an interesting question, though. So, well, what do you think of like a reasonable, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Oh my God. Resolution to this would have been?
Send all of the police home. Send all of the military home.
Yeah.
Send everyone home.
Yep.
And then somebody in a powerful decision-making position over the golf course walk over and go, hi, I've heard you're upset about this golf course. And then talk to them about their concerns and then somehow find a resolution where you go, hey, maybe we shouldn't build a golf course here. Or maybe they'll give you part of the land if you then promise to protect and maintain and develop the cemetery.
Or give them like free weekend passes to the golf course.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like allow them access to the VIP lounge.
as well as just don't touch the cemetery area. I don't know. I think there's a reasonable response. It's not like it doesn't have to just be, no, we will bulldoze the graves.
Right.
The 19th hole is go in there. You don't have to do that. Well, I don't think there's 19 holes on a golf course, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
But of course, that's not what happened.
No, you just go and talk to them and go, well, I'm sure this is important to you. This is important to us. How can we find a resolution? Maybe we shouldn't build a golf course. We should build this somewhere else. Maybe there are already enough golf courses in the world. How many more golf courses do we need? Yeah. Anyway, so they caused chaos in the southern part of Montreal with a few blockades with the support they had. People were angry at the SQ for the situation. And eventually some of the communities were saying they wanted full sovereignty and to break away from Canada, which is understandable given
we threw our entire military fucking force at them. Yeah,
exactly. Bearing in mind, the amount of military force, considering there were, what did I say, 4,500 military there.
Yeah.
Only just over 5,000 went to fight in the Gulf War in the 90s. So there was almost as many soldiers
insane.
Going to this golf course as there were to the Gulf War.
That's fucking nuts.
I know. Doesn't make any sense.
We really like our fucking golf.
The military operation at this golf course was so extensive, it used up the entire national stockpile of barbed wire. They really wanted that golf course.
So how did it end? Like, what was the resolution here?
So after 3 months, they started to negotiate. They finally realized that maybe this is just...
Maybe we should just fucking talk
to them. Yeah, so they started to negotiate. So they agreed to dismantle the barricade that was like jamming up Montreal because it was causing so much inconvenience. They were like, yeah, fine, we'll do it. And then there were 40 Mohawk warriors on the barricades. They kind of retreated. The army came and dismantled the barricades. And there were also women and children there as well. Like the whole family had gone there. So the women and children had to take refuge in a residential treatment center for drugs and alcohol on Highway 344 as they retreated from the area.
Jeez.
And then, even though they negotiated the end of that barrier, in late September, some SQ officers and army soldiers landed on Tekawitha Island on the outskirts of the community and started marching on the community, essentially kind of going, hey, we're just going to go and take the community.
What? This was after negotiations?
This was after they negotiated. They then were like, hey, let's do like a strike. But they were met by hundreds of Mohawk protesters from the community. And the soldiers started to attempt to lay razor wire, but it was dismantled by all the protesters, and they threw rocks and assaulted the soldiers. So the soldiers fired tear gas and warning shots, and they hit them with the butts of their rifles.
Jesus.
And after 7 hours, they had to airlift the soldiers out with 8 Chinook helicopters. 22 soldiers were injured, along with 75 people from the Kanaka community, or the Mohawk community there, who ranged from the ages of 5 to 72. So,
wow!
If I was one of those soldiers, you got to be like taking part in that, going, this isn't what I signed up for.
Right? Seriously? Yeah.
I wasn't here to hit people between the age of 5 and 72 with the butt of my rifle while they cry from the tear gas I shot in their face.
All so that we can build a fucking golf course.
Yeah, and we'd run out of barbed wire.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so that's a proud day for the military.
Yeah. So the resistance ended on the 26th of September 1930. But the issue is, Parliament was on vacation this whole time this happened. So nothing really got done until they all returned back to work in September.
That's kind of funny.
So the government was like, hey, we can't do anything. There's no one in charge.
The whole Parliament was on vacation.
Yeah, it was the summer.
They scheduled everybody to go on vacation at the exact same time.
It happens every summer in Canada. If you're going to invade Canada, do it in the summer because everyone's on vacation.
That's kind of funny, honestly.
So on 26th of September 1990, 30 men, 16 women, and 6 children suddenly left kind of they kind of surrendered and left everything alone. However, there was some confusion. During the confusion, a soldier stabbed a 14-year-old boy in the chest with a 14-year-old girl in the chest with a bayonet.
Jesus, they had bayonets?
She'd been carrying her 4-year-old...
What is this, the fucking 1850s?
Well, she was carrying her 4-year-old sister at the time as well.
Oh, my God.
And the incident became front-page news across the whole country.
Did she die? I'm assuming she did.
Yes, she was killed.
Oh, that's horrible.
So everything kind of de-escalated. Mulrooney got involved, and they then started to really ask a lot of questions. Nobody went to jail. Oh, sorry, only one person served jail time in the end from the whole thing.
The murderer?
No, from the protesters' side.
Oh, right, of course.
No soldiers or police.
No, of course. No.
They were just doing their job. It's fine. 5 were convicted of crimes, including assault and theft, but only one person served any jail time after 3 months of their standoff and all of Canada's barbed wire.
Wow.
And so then what happened was, because of this, they started to really question issues like Indian status and the kind of the laws that have been brought in and the amount of force that you use against Indigenous communities, and should we actually be dealing with them in this way? And it kind of became kind of totally changed how the government started to work with Indigenous communities to deal with issues, because that was pretty bad.
Well, at least something positive came out of this, which is, that.
Yeah.
Just a reflection, a deep reflection on how we treat people.
Exactly.
Maybe we should treat people like human beings.
Do you know what happened, though? They didn't build the golf course and the townhouses. They
yay!
Them. So it was worth it in the end. I mean,
was it
an unnecessary amount of people got hurt, and
is it still just like undeveloped land?
Yeah, they didn't let anyone do anything with it. The government bought the plots of land.
Okay.
And it was kind of kept for the community. However, they didn't bother to establish it as a reserve, and they haven't transferred the land over to the community. The government just bought it.
Of course, yeah. They're like,
no
nobody's getting this land. It's crown land.
We own it now.
Yeah.
And there was an investigation. The SQ, Quebec's elite police force that turns up and defeats itself, was criticized for its handling of the situation, including command failures and prejudice amongst the members in their attitudes towards the Indigenous community. And they after Corporal LeMay's death, which is sad that he got killed, but they never determined who actually fired the shot that killed him.
Because it was amongst a sea of tear gas that was blown back into their faces.
Yeah. Blinded by their own tear gas, they then decided to discharge their firearms.
I was gonna get you to do an improv story about that, but that's again, even with somebody dying, I don't think that's a fun thing to do.
Yeah, but it's just such and this was in the 90s that this happened. I cannot believe like I said, if Godzilla was heading to Montreal, I would send the resources they sent to hundreds of protesters who were just like, please don't build a golf course. It's just insane. I don't know who decided send the we need fighter jets and the Navy going up and down the river.
That's amazing. They have nothing better to do. They
did. The Gulf War was happening.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, no, actually, it wasn't happening right then. But there was stuff going on in the Gulf.
That'll do it. Wow. All right. Admin and then a quiz.
Okay.
All right. We have a voicemail that I can't access because I don't know the password for.
Do we have a new voicemail?
We do. Yeah.
From where?
From our pod page. It's a pod page. It's just, if you go into our Gmail, it's there. I can't access it. I tried listening to it.
Oh, Jess left you a voicemail message. Shall I play it?
Sure.
I haven't listened to it. We'll see how this goes now.
All right.
And let me turn the volume up.
Hi, Reese and Jesse. So I've been seeing a lot of signs lately requesting that I fornicate with our Prime Minister. It's seems to have gotten quite a bit more extreme ever since he got divorced. So I'm wondering, perhaps this is some sort of a sinister plot to create the most perfect of babies for the elite to consume. I mean, of course, I don't actually think that, but Jesse's been harping for speak pipes, and I thought that I might fold a fun tinfoil hat to share with you guys. Love you, Reese. Jesse, you're pretty all right. Have a good one, guys.
I like Jess. I think she's nice.
I'm pretty all right.
Yeah, you're all right.
She loves you.
I deserve love. You deserve.
I do not, apparently. Yeah. I deserve mild praise at best. Thank you for that
Thanks,
lovely
Jess.
speak pipe.
Thanks, Jess.
I agree with you, by the way. We are trying to create the perfect lineage of babies.
Edible babies.
Edible babies. That was great.
Yeah.
If you'd like to leave us a speak pipe, you can do so at speakpipe.com/Canadian Politics is Boring, because he hasn't changed it yet. Or you can do it on our website, I guess. That's a thing that lovely lady just did.
It's nice.
That's fun. You can tell us what you think of the transition from Canadian Politics is Boring to Canada's Boring, or just shoot the shit with us. Tell us whatever you think. And if we like it, we'll put it on the show. So there you go.
We also have a bunch of messages that I think might be spam.
Sweet.
Someone called Kelly Davis, called Kelly Knows Payments at gmail.com.
You're going to read us
Hi,
spam?
I'm reaching out because you accepted credit cards at your business between 2004 and 2019. I know that's a long time, but this is important. According to records, you're owed part of the Visa MasterCard $5.5 billion settlement.
Spam?
Kelly says I'm owed money. The deadline to submit your information and claim the settlement is fast approaching, May 30th. Oh, fuck, I missed it. Well, Kelly, if I still got a chance, let me know.
It's a quiz time.
It's a quiz time. Okay, cool.
I would love some quiz music.
What was the
I've been
name
asking for quiz music for a long time. not from your mouth. Oh, yeah, it's
Hang
what
on,
you have an
hang
app.
on, hang on,
Right, I forgot about this.
hang on,
He's very proud of this app.
hang on, hang on,
I'm hanging.
hang on,
I'm gonna leave.
hang on, hang on,
This is
hang on,
okay. Should not have taken this long.
hang on. Okay. Spin the wheel, Jesse. What was the name of the community in question?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was give me a hint. What does it start with? Is this the native community?
I'm not helping you. Yes.
I don't know.
Oka.
Oh, all right.
3 letters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know that, Madison? No, she's shaking her head no.
She's shaking her head. Okay, next question. Spin the wheel.
Okay. What the fuck noise is that?
Dramatic question.
Okay.
How many soldiers were sent to Oka?
Originally? Or total?
Total.
Jesus. All of them. I don't know. I'm going to say 500.
4,500.
So I was close. Did you get that, Madison? Is that no? Madison's saying no as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Spin the wheel.
There we go. That is not a wheel. That's
Oh, it's the big money prize.
oh, big money prize. Here we go.
To answer this question,
Okay. Yep.
then you will be slightly richer.
All right. You're
Can't tell you how much by
going to pay me this time?
because I don't know. Okay, so here's the question.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm going to get it wrong.
Who was the prime minister when this happened?
I know this. Madison's making a weird face. I think she knows this. No? Brian Mulroney. What? The question was, who was prime minister during this time?
Did you say Brian Mulroney?
I did say Brian Mulroney.
Yay!
Yay! I won. Yeah. You're not even listening to the show. You're supposed. She's just in there watching porn. That's all. This is. It's your employee, man.
You don't say things like that. You've just created an HR issue.
That's why I don't work here.
So, yeah, you got one prize right. So you get $2.
$2, please.
Not now.
Oh, okay.
$2 sometime in the next 5 years. Okay. So, well done. Okay, thanks, everyone.
Thanks so much for listening to Canada is Boring. I'm Jesse. This has been Reese. I don't think we introduced ourselves.
We did.
Which is
I
kinda
introduced
funny.
us at the beginning. I
Did
called
you?
you the improbable Jesse Harley.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
We did. I
It was
remember
barely
now.
25 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't build golf courses on sacred sites.
There you go.
We have enough golf courses.
That's your takeaway.
If you're going to build anything anywhere, we need more water parks.
Oh, I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah.
Water parks are fun.
Yeah,
I
they
like
are.
them. Yep.
Good ones. So, anyway, bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.